unbeaten. Fraser goes long, pings one for David. Look at that control. Jonathan David! Oh my! That was special!
With a huge win against Honduras behind them, the Canadian team looks forward to the United States at home on Sunday. To get more on that game, we've reached Duane Rollins, host of Soccer Today, a daily North American soccer podcast.
1, 2, 3, Riders! We got pods!
Okay, Duane, thanks so much for joining us. I mean, first off, I've got to ask you about last night's game against Honduras. The mental baggage, has it been dissipated from Canada after that 2-0 win?
Well, I'll tell you what, I took a little piece of paper last night and I wrote 8-1, the score from Honduras back in 2012, put it in a bucket and burnt it. So yeah, I'd say that a little bit was taken away. It was a significant win for a lot of ways. A lot of us that have followed the program for many, many years had this circled in the calendar when the schedule was dropped. And it was, I don't think the players saw it this way, but certainly the fans felt it as a very significant moment for the program.
You know what? They did this victory last night, 90 minutes without Alphonso Davies, without Stefan Eustáquio. Can you pick out a standout performance from last night's game?
Atiba Hutchinson, the veteran, he's almost 40 years old, which I can't even imagine playing 90 minutes in San Pedro Sula at that age. That's amazing. He's been such a great athlete, such a great representation of this country for so long. He was just vital to everything they did in the pitch last night. He was just the veteran presence that kept everything glued together. Milan Bojan as well. He had a great game in goal. Canadians love a good goalie. They love that. So that was very much something that would have stepped out. So it was really just a team effort all around, though. And this team throughout the qualifying process has shown consistently that they can step up and get things done even when they're missing some of their top players.
Okay, let's look ahead to the United States on Sunday afternoon. Last time these two teams met, 1-1 in Nashville. How much of a home field advantage do you feel this will be for Canada? What do they need to do to get those 3 points?
Well, they need to play their game, and what their game is going to depend on what John Herdman says it is in the day. And he's really been one of the key guys to this. He's such a creative and such an organized and just his research is just there for every game. So in John we trust, so to speak. So listen to the coach is my first thing there. In terms of taking advantage of Hamilton and the crowd, it won't of course be as big as we'd like, but I think that the fans that are going to be in that building are going to be geared up and ready to go because as I said earlier, they've been waiting a long, long time to have an opportunity to get this close to a World Cup and they're very excited. And I think a lot of them will feel very privileged to be in a building that only 12,000 people can get into. So I'm expecting it to be a significantly loud crowd, even though it's going to be small in numbers. The U.S. is a team that likes to play skilled. So the turf might be something they don't like, that they don't care for, the field turf as opposed to a natural grass surface. Soccer players don't like that sometimes, so that they can use that as an advantage. Canada, of course, played on the same surface in Edmonton, well, the same surface, but a similar surface in Edmonton. So they might look at that as an advantage as well. In terms of the cold, I'm not sure that's going to be an advantage for either team. I mean, it's going to be cold in there, I think, but the U.S. played in Columbus last night to similar temperatures. They're going to play in Minnesota after this, so they're used to the cold too. So that's going to be a wash, but should be a fun day. And I think that this team has shown time and time again, as I said a moment ago, that they can overcome pretty much anything. So I expect them to show up and be ready to play.
Okay, the United States, let's talk about them. They have a couple weapons. Who for you is the biggest threat? How do you nullify it?
Christian Pulisic is their star player. People will know his name, plays for Chelsea in England. He is a guy that has dynamic abilities, similar to Alphonso Davies. He's not as good. I don't think that's my bias, probably, although a lot of people in the world would agree. How to nullify him? I think that the way Canada nullifies any attacking presence is through their own attack. The best defense is a good offense. It's the old cliche, right? And there's truth to cliches sometimes. And I think that that's exactly what Canada needs to do is they need to get front foot. Now, that said, the last time they played the U.S., they did play a more defensive style. However, that was on the road. And the adage in CONCACAF, the region Canada plays in, is that you get a point on the road, you get 3 at home. And if you do that, you qualify. So I believe that John Herdman will have this team set up, ready to go play offensive-minded, ready to get front foot, get an early goal, and take the U.S. out of their rhythm. And that's the way I think he should do it.
Okay. The question that a lot of fans are asking, okay, when can we start saying that Canada's off to their first World Cup since 1986?
Oh, wow. Okay. Mathematically, I'm going to give you some bad news. It's highly unlikely to happen this window. It'll probably happen in March. They need 2 wins realistically. Put math aside for a second. I know people don't like to do math when they're watching their sports, but if you just think of it in 2 wins, win your 2 home games, that's 6 more points. That should get them over the magic number of 24 that would put them over the magic number of 24 that everyone has circled before this as being what's going to be needed to go to Qatar. I think it's going to happen, though. I have confidence.